So guys, we're going to be checking out another low budget horror movie here in this video. This movie is called Orangutan and it's inspired heavily by Creature from the Black Lagoon. We get the first images from the movie, the official poster, and some details about the movie. So let's jump straight in, let's break it down, and let's see what's going on with this crazy kind of creature feature horror movie. So, this comes to us from Bloody Disgusting. Orangutan, first images from World War II Fishman creature feature. I mean, that sounds really cool. I love Creature from the Black Lagoon. That movie is being remade by Blumhouse and James Wan, I believe, which is really exciting also. But let's dive in and check this out. Obviously, we have an image here. This is what the fish creature is going to look like. It actually looks pretty decent, I have to say. This looks pretty cool. So, inspired by the horror classic Creature from the Black Lagoon, like I was just saying, the upcoming international creature feature, Orangutan, is set to premiere at the Tokyo International Film Festival. The website Sci-Fi Japan reports this week. The site also shares the first images from the monster movie. So, Dean, I don't know how to say that, guys. I just call him Dean, from Full Metal Alchemist, and Callum Woodhouse, all creatures great and small, lead the cast of Orangutan, set during World War II and centered on a fish monster. So here's the official synopsis of the movie. May 1942, World War II rages across a world divided. A Japanese hell ship transports prisoners of war to occupied territories for slave labor. On board the ship is Sato, a traitor of the Japanese who is being sent back to the motherland to be sentenced to death. As further punishment, Sato is shackled to another prisoner of war, a British soldier named Bronson, who holds nothing but hatred for Sato because of his Japanese nationality. When the hell ship is torpedoed by Allied submarines, Sato and Bronson are thrown overboard and washed ashore on a deserted island. But they are not alone. Bronson and Sato are hunted by a monstrous creature, the Orangutan, who will stop at nothing until both men are dead. Bronson and Sato must put aside their hatred for one another to survive the island and kill the creature before it kills them first. I think that synopsis actually sounds really cool. It's very, very simple. You've got a prisoner of war and you've got a traitor to the Japanese. They're on board a ship that gets torpedoed by the Allies. They fall overboard. They land. They get washed up on a deserted island. And the Orangutan is there. This kind of monstrous kind of half fish, half man thing. And it's hunting them down. It's almost kind of like a Predator movie in some ways. But instead of a Predator, we've got this hybrid fish man creature thing here. And like I say, I think it actually sounds pretty damn cool from that synopsis. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Let's go back. So, Mike Willen from Buffalo Boys wrote the script and directed Orangutan. Producer Eric Koo tells Variety, quote, "I grew up on a steady diet of horror movies, which range from supernatural to monster flicks. One of my childhood favorites was the classic 1954 monster movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon." We all know that movie. I'm not sure how many of you guys would have seen that movie because it's quite old. A lot of people probably haven't seen it, but a lot of people know what it is, even if they haven't seen it, because it has such notoriety in the horror genre. During the pandemic, I came across Hell in the Pacific, a 1968 war film about a Japanese soldier and an American serviceman marooned on an island trying to kill each other off. This was the light bulb moment for me. What if an orangutan had come ashore in that scenario? In order to survive, the two mortal enemies would have to team up to battle this terrifying beast. What an exciting premise. Yeah, I mean, putting their hatred aside, the British and the Japanese, putting their hatred aside to have to team up to kind of fight this kind of force of nature in the orangutan. I think that sounds really cool. So, Orangutan is an origin story with a horror survival theme set in the context of a realistic tragedy during the Second World War in Asia. Using both studio settings and wonderful wild landscapes of Indonesia, I'm excited to capture both the tension, horror, and beauty of this concept in various exotic locations, said writer and director Mike Willen. We have assembled a wonderful cast, talented artists, and the best crew to undertake this incredible adventure. Check out the images of the art below and expect more information soon. So, we have the images here, guys, from the movie. We only have a few, we don't have that many, but let's jump into it. So, we see this guy here, and it looks like the orangutan is behind him, sort of jumping on him, pouncing on him. Again, from what we see here in the costume, obviously it's low light, it's quite blurry, it's a low resolution picture. But I think it looks quite cool. I mean, it looks good. I mean, the costume looks, stands out. It looks terrifying, it looks scary. The guy, he's got good face acting here. The movie could fall apart when we see it, but, from this picture here, it looks pretty cool. If they can build the tension in a really good way, and, if they can do a great job with the cinematography on how the monster is filmed, the way the monster moves, building that tension, then I think it could be something interesting. Again, we get that full picture of the one we saw up above at the top of the video. But this time we get the orang, monster here, Akan, and he's holding, it looks like one of the soldiers to the ground, the British guy by the look of it. Kind of holding him by the throat, pinning him to the ground, and looks like he's about to have him for his lunch. But again, the costume looks great. This kind of shine on the skin, the great teeth, the big black eyes. It looks pretty scary. It looks terrifying. But then again, having this costume in a picture and then actually seeing it in motion is two different things. Once we see it in motion, it might just look like a guy in a costume. It might look ridiculous. We'll have to wait and see how it actually moves. And it looks like we've got the Japanese soldier here. Japanese soldier, it wouldn't be a movie unless he was holding a katana. So, yeah, it reminds me of that scene in Predator. The Predators movie, I should say. Predators. Where there's that scene where the Japanese guy has faces off with the Predator and he has the samurai sword. We could be getting a scene that's kind of a bit reminiscent of that. He's going to be taking on the orangutan with his samurai sword. That would be a pretty badass scene to see that. And then we get the official poster here down below. Orangutan, Tokyo Film Festival. And again, we see the two soldiers here. The British guy here, he's got two axes by the look of it. The Japanese soldier has a big katana or blade, whichever you want to call it. And then we get the orangutan here, a shot from the back of him. Again, even though this is just the back, it looks pretty compelling. The scales look good. The skin looks cool. The teeth look great. The fact that he's kind of emerging out of the water, we get the splash. And then it looks like we get some sort of downed plane in the background, so potentially a rescue plane is going to be landing on the island to try and rescue the soldiers, and it gets downed and maybe the pilot gets eaten or something. But yeah, that'd be definitely cool to see that. But yeah, I mean, this poster looks great. It looks stand out. It looks like they've done a great job with it. It's very cool. It's very dark, very foreboding. I think it looks great. And we get another poster down here as well. Orangutan. We see him kind of hunched over. It looks like he's kind of emerging out of a cave here. It's raining, we get a big waterfall, and it's kind of in the depths of the jungle on the island here. But again, I think the creature design looks cool. But like I've already said, there's a big difference between seeing screenshots of the creature and then seeing it actually in motion. Is it going to be someone in a costume? Is it going to be heavily CGI? How is it going to work and how is it going to look? And how are they going to build that tension and cinematography around the creature to make sure that people think, you know, that it's scary, that it's a force to be reckoned with? And that's ultimately, you know, the movie would fall apart or succeed based on how well they can film this monster and how kind of scary they can make this monster, basically. Because if no one's scared of this monster, if it comes across goofy and stupid, then no one's going to care. It's not going to be scary. There's going to be no tension. And then ultimately the film would just fall apart. But guys, that's kind of where we are. So the orangutan, a creature feature, whichever way around you want to say it, with a half fish, half man hybrid monster on an island with a Japanese and a British soldier during World War II. I think it sounds like a compelling concept. These pictures look pretty damn cool. I'm really interested to watch this when it gets released. Guys, jump into the comment section. Now that you've read up on this information with me, you've seen these pictures and the posters, what do you think about the orangutan? Does it look like something you'd be interested in watching? Or do you think it's going to be another kind of dumb, silly creature movie of a guy running around in a rubber suit? Whatever your thoughts are, guys, can't wait to hear them. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hit that like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.